Welcome to The Good Ride. I'm James Beastie. Wow, I don't jib anymore. I am going to talk about the Capita Ultrafear, a board I probably would grab if I did jib still. This is a light, easy flexing, poppy, but somewhat technical, slightly catchy, mostly camber jib board that's very easy to butter and play around with, has very good pop, has that typical Capita weakness in soft, uneven snow. But other than that, this is a pretty good semi-technical jib board for the advanced expert park rider. I only got one day on this because when I got this, first off, I was hoping for a 55, which would be much better for my specs. This is a 53. And then on top of that, this just really isn't my kind of board, but it's weird. People from the Good Ride community want to know my perspective on boards like this. So I thought I'd give it to you from a very limited perspective after a few runs with my Nitro Team TLS Union Forest bindings and Capita Ultra bindings. I lost some of the footage, was corrupted, but there is some from a spring day. So I'll show you that occasionally throughout this review, but this is going to be quick. And of course, this is an honest, objective review from an average rider's perspective. And we can do that thanks to reader support and support from our sponsor, Blower Board Shop. They're a great shop that's been around forever, longer than most resorts have been allowing snowboarders on the hill. So if you want to support snowboarding and objective content, click through our links to Blower Board Shop and give them your hard-earned cash. And when it comes to sizing, this 53 felt definitely too small for me. I'd want the 55. I'd only want the 53 if I was only jibbing all the time. It would be nice to have a smaller, easier board to control. But if I was doing a little bit of everything, including occasionally riding the mountain, I definitely want the 55. Now, when it comes to shape, this is a true twin. Doesn't need any more explanation than that. You're perfectly centered on reference stance, and you can go either direction almost perfectly. Now, there is a mellow camber underfoot, transitioning into some flat, maybe a touch of early rise, but you feel that camber on snow. If you're gonna jib with this, definitely detune this out of the factory and make sure these edges are a lot less sharp, and it'll get rid of some of that catchy nature I found on this board. I felt all of this 118 centimeter effective edge, and you will too if you're a beginner intermediate rider in and out of the park. It's not that easy to skid your turns with this board for sure. In terms of edge hold, I felt this was okay, but it's not really what you get this for. You don't want a lot of grip from this board. You want this to slide easy. So after a detune, you're not gonna have much grip, but that's expected, and it'll do really well on the jibs as a result. Let's talk Ultrafear Flex here. It's got a pretty medium flex, which surprised me. When you get down into the tip and tail, it's a little softer, and when I buttered the tip and tail, it just wheelied up so much easier than you would think for the flex that you see here. And this dynamic poppy flex personality, along with this camber profile, makes for a very poppy, easy to ollie ride. It's very easy to access this pop. And while this has an easy popping, energetic flex, this is not fun in soft, uneven snow or hard micro bumpy snow. It's hard to keep the edge settled. But most of you who get this board won't be that far outside the park, so probably won't be an issue. And when it comes to the turning experience, there isn't really much going on here. It's okay for such a soft board, and it has a little bit of fun edge to edge. But getting off this, then getting on the Indoor Survival, which is a soft, playful, jib-friendly board too. It has a little more of a fun, mountain freestyle turning experience, even though it's a much softer, park-oriented board these days. If you really want to turn on a twin, look for another board. This is not a board you want to straight line with. This is a slow speed board for the jib park. Capita just does a good job with bases, even though this isn't really a high-end base. This is a pretty good base for this kind of board. This holds wax pretty well, but doesn't need consistent waxing, and that's all you want from a board like this. Ride and switch, this True Twin feels the same either way. The only thing I've found better is an asymmetrical twin, but this is so close, not even gonna talk about it. This isn't a real great board for jumps except for small to borderline medium-sized jumps. Not a board I really want to ride in the pipe, but man, this is a great jib board. You want some camber, you want that extra pop, a little more ease, alling into a feature. Easy flex to handle those features. I think this is not a bad choice at all. Capita just does jibbing and park boards right. That's their core focus, and this is a great choice for that. In terms of POW, no thank you. This is one of the last picks I would make. So overall, not my board, not for me. But if you're a technical jibber who hits some small jumps and occasionally plays around on the mountain, loves to butter, wants an easy, poppy flex, this could work for you.